Well, everyone, Street Fighter 6 is here. I've had my first amazing day of this game all day Friday. On today's Level 1 podcast, I'd like to talk about my experiences, what characters we used, my plans for the rest of the weekend, and more. All this and some news in just a bit. Alrighty, good morning. Happy Saturday, everyone. Today is June 3rd, 2023. I'm Darkside Phil, and I welcome you here to the Level 1 podcast. What a great day we have in store after yesterday's initial launch of Street Fighter 6, which, of course, whenever you have a big launch like this, okay, you never know how it's going to go. You don't, especially with a lot of these recent online-enabled games that have had very lackluster launches. Overwatch 2. Where everyone's trying to jump online and play at the same time. And man, let me tell you guys something. Street Fighter 6, so far, out of the gates, the absolute best launch day experience I have ever had with any competitive fighting game. This game is stacking up to be the best, okay, so far. And that's as much as I can say, having played it for one day. And having played it for one day, you might say, wow, well, you played it all day long. You really got a lot in. In truth, when you're playing a fighting game like this for the very first time, one day is like nothing. One day is like you took 2 bites off the plate and you've got this giant heaping plate that you need to get through. You know what I'm saying? I played about an hour messing around with the various menus, looking at the different features, and doing a little bit of the offline kind of guides and tutorials with Blanca. Then I played 2 hours of online play with Blanca. Then on the late stream, I spent about maybe 15, 20 minutes learning the basics of JP, the new character, in the offline modes. And then I jumped online for about just under 2 hours of gameplay with JP, okay? And I had hundreds upon hundreds of matches. If you take the look, actually, someone was nice enough, they actually went through and counted, okay? Which is a ginormous task. Someone watched all of the fights and said, here's my stats so far. All right. Now, this is overall fights. This is not matches. This is fights, like rounds. With Blanca, I won 76 rounds and I lost 50. So that's a positive, win-loss ratio, but it's not a great win-loss ratio. With JP, I actually won 150 rounds, and I lost 91. So I actually was able to get way more matches with JP than I was with Blanca. I don't know why. I don't know if just the matches were faster because of the nature of the character. I was dealing more damage or whatever, perhaps. But yeah, that's obviously a way better win-loss ratio with JP, okay? But both positive, right? And it's funny because some people who were watching yesterday were like shocked and blown away, and they were like, oh, Phil's good at Street Fighter. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on a second. First of all, let's take a big step back, all right? I'm not good at Street Fighter 6 at all. I'm just beginning. I'm just learning the basics of Street Fighter 6. I'm not implementing half of the gameplay mechanics of the game yet. I'm barely touching the surface with each character, trying to figure out basic moves and strategies. I haven't been doing any dash cancels. I haven't done any parries or anything like that. If anything, I'm using basic drive impact moves, and that's about it. I haven't done a single large combo. You know what I'm saying? This is day one stuff that I'm doing. I'm not good at Street Fighter 6, all right? Want to know who's good at Street Fighter 6? The people who've been sitting around playing this game nonstop for the last 6 months because they hacked the beta. The people who probably since the moment it unlocked on their console, have been playing nonstop and haven't slept. They're sitting in training mode. They're practicing insane damage combos. Then they're going online. The people who are ranked like top 100 with each character. Those people are good at Street Fighter 6. Okay? I'm not good at this game. I want you to understand that. However, I bring with me a certain level of fundamentals that a lot of others don't have. I grew up in the 1990s playing competitive Street Fighter, right? I played all through the 2000s when Street Fighter was a grassroots effort to keep competitive fighting games alive, when Capcom was not making new games, nor were they supporting the efforts of anyone to keep said competitive circuit alive. I grew up in a situation where it was like, you need to absorb, you need to learn right away, but you bring a wealth of knowledge with you. I'm 41 years old. The average person playing this game is probably in their 20s. You understand? So, yeah, I'm always going to have a little bit of an extra advantage, I would say, especially during the early time frame of playing a Street Fighter game, okay? I bring that to the table, that foundation, the knowledge of footsies, the knowledge of wake-up timing, the knowledge of all these different things. The thing is, there's going to come a time, probably relatively quickly, I would say within a couple of weeks, that knowledge will plateau. You understand? My basic knowledge of Street Fighter fundamentals will only get me so far, and then I'm going to have to advance to the point where I'm learning all the advanced stuff about the game. Day one, there's absolutely no way you could do that. In day one, you're just trying to learn basics, and, I'd never seen Blanca or JP in action before, so I was just trying to absorb as much as I possibly could and learn matchups and things, and which I did. Like, I actually learned some really interesting basics with each character that I enjoyed, and not to say that I think either character right now is screaming to me, hey, this should be your main. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anyone's been screaming to me like that yet. But, I'm really happy I played Blanca. Blanca's a character that I've always loved. He was my original main character in Street Fighter 2. And then, in Street Fighter 4, he also was one of the characters that I played hugely at the beginning. It was actually Blanca and Balrog were my two top initial guys that I played in Street Fighter 4. So, to be able to come back, years later, and now play him again on day one was kind of special to me, honestly. Although he plays nothing in this game like he did in previous versions. Like, literally every property of every move has been changed. Which is fine. There comes a time when things need to be refreshed and spruced up and changed and updated for the present. And that's what's happened. I actually like the character, but again, I don't know if he's going to be competitive. I said this yesterday. Seems like he has a lot of tools and tricks. But I don't know if those tools and tricks will be effective against someone who is basically knows those tools and tricks and can kind of work their way around them. I feel like maybe he's going to be good for the first, few weeks to month, and then after that, everyone kind of knows his game, and he can't really do that much. So, I guess we'll see. JP, the ultimate zoner, but very weak up close. And that's kind of the whole point of the character, is keep the enemy away, keep them guessing, make it so that they cannot get in on you. And if they do, well, now he's a little bit in a troubling situation. So anyway, I had a great time yesterday. Let me tell you some interesting things that happened over the course of yesterday. What we'll do is let's talk about my launch day of Street Fighter 6 first. Then we'll talk about the schedule for the rest of the week. Then I got one news story to cover for today. And then we'll do our usual Q&A segment and everything. What are we doing for gameplay today? More characters, more online play. It's that simple. No, today I am not doing World Tour mode. I don't feel like I dived enough into this game yet to be doing a single-player mode offline. I want to keep playing with new characters and going online and enjoying the game at a competitive level before we go into the offline World Tour mode. But don't worry. For those who are interested in the World Tour single-player mode, I am going to play it. It's coming. It's just that I really want to immerse myself in the world of Street Fighter 6 and all its gameplay mechanics for a bit before we jump into World Tour. I'm thinking maybe Monday we do World Tour on the main stream or something like that. Okay? Anyway, so all that being said, let's talk about yesterday and how it went. All right? First of all, I am very happy to report that this was by far the best launch day experience of playing a fighting game online that I've ever had. And this includes way back in the day games like Street Fighter 4 and all its iterations, all the Mortal Kombats, all the Injustices, Tekken, just in general. The vast majority of online matchups that I had were of great quality, right? I think there might have been one match that showed it was above 100 milliseconds. Although, admittedly, the thing that kind of sucks is that people are still playing this game wirelessly, which it makes me scratch my head. Why are you going to play this game wirelessly when you know that's going to destroy your overall experience? If you're trying to play a game online, in ranked matches, by the way, I should make this clear, I only played ranked matches yesterday. I didn't do casual matches or custom rooms. It was all ranked play. If you're going to play gameplay that's supposed to rank your skill level, why would you be playing on a wireless connection, right? If you can only play on a wireless connection, then only play casual matches. There's no point. You're never even going to measure your true skill level if you're playing wirelessly for ranked. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I say just stick to the casual. But what it is some people are, oh, I gotta try so hard, gotta try to get my rankings. Like, dude, if all you got is wireless, then don't even bother. Seriously. It's not a good experience. Every time there's wireless, there's lag spikes and stuff. But maybe I experienced 2 matches like that yesterday. Out of an entire day of playing, only 2 matches that were bad. That's not bad at all. That's overall a very, very good experience. And also, the matchmaking was fast, and I got a match within, 30 seconds of trying to find one every single time I tried to find one. So there was little to no downtime. In fact, the matches were coming so fast, I barely had time to do shout-outs and update the leaderboard, right? Like, literally. It was just constant matchups, which I was really happy about that. I was like, wow, I don't have any downtime, no wasted time, no sitting around with my thumb up my butt trying to find a match. So that was excellent. Also, 0 rage quits. What the hell? 0 rage quits. Ladies and gentlemen, I have never in my entire experience playing fighting games had a situation where I had no rage quits. I couldn't believe it. And it's not because I was losing constantly. I was winning way more than I was losing. People were actually, like, respectful. They didn't say, oh, I'm so upset, right? I will leave. It's like, it blew my mind. So, overall, my online experience with this game so far is the absolute best I've ever had. I would rank this. Everyone always says, what's the best fighting game experience you ever had? And I always answer, Pokken Tournament. And everyone's like, what? Yes, the Pokemon Tournament Fighters game on the Wii U had overall the best online connections of any fighting game I'd ever played. I don't know how they did it, but the vast majority of matches that I had on that game were very, very good. And no other fighting game has really gotten that close. And now that I've played this one, I can tell you this game is definitely the best online experience I've ever had, especially at launch. That's impressive. With the amount of people trying to play this game right now, right? And cross-platform as well, because that's the thing. All these people are crossing over from PlayStation to Xbox to PC, and they're all playing each other. Overall, this is by far the best fighting game experience I've ever had online. And that's an accomplishment that they should be proud of. Because, man, did they goof with Street Fighter V. It was actually the worst fighting game experience I ever had at launch. And this is the polar opposite of that. This game is breaking records. It actually has the most people playing it right now on PC than any fighting game ever. And it's actually growing slowly over the course of the weekend. More people are getting it, which is excellent. So, yeah, so far, so good. All right? Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Yesterday on my first stream, I was basically inundated with trolling messages. All right? Here's what happened. Allow me to explain why this happened. Because there was absolutely no way to prevent this from happening until you actually played on a stream, okay? So, with all of its new games, Capcom instituted a new system called the Capcom ID system. What it is you create an online account on their new website, this Capcom ID website. And this website is your online identity for all Capcom games, including games like Street Fighter, Resident Evil, and all of that. If Capcom has promotions or opportunities, they'll email you via your account, your Capcom ID account, so you're in the know about it. In fact, that's how I registered for and got into the Street Fighter 6 closed betas last year. All right? And so, this account ID is linked with your online profile, and any game you play for Capcom, you're essentially logged into your Capcom ID account. So, when you play Street Fighter 6, 2 things happen. You log into your console account, whether that's Xbox Live, PlayStation, or I guess it would be Steam if you're playing on PC. And then you also log into your Capcom ID account. So you're logging into 2 at once, all right? Even it's weird, it's confusing because there's a menu in the game that says friends list. But the friends list says, oh, this is your Capcom friends list, press right thumbstick to go to your Xbox friends list. So there's 2 friends lists. Yeah, there's 2. Okay? So even if you had previously, before you bought Street Fighter 6, you went into your console settings, your PC settings, you said, I don't want friend requests. I don't want people to invite me to clubs. I don't want any of that. And you turned it all off. It does nothing. Because Capcom has their own system set up separate from that. All right? Now, you would not know that until you played Street Fighter 6 because no other game has used it in this manner before. All right? So when you log into Street Fighter 6, now if someone sees your online Capcom ID, which you can blatantly see if you're on a stream, people will know your name, they can go to the Capcom ID website and they can spam invite you as a friend. And what happens is they do it so many times that it overloads the system. You could go to like, oh, I want to delete this request. It doesn't even exist anymore because they can invite, delete, invite, delete, invite, delete. And that's what they were doing to me yesterday. They would invite, delete, and I'd be like, well, I can dismiss the request, but if I try to accept it so I can block the person, you can't even accept it because it says, oh, this invite doesn't exist anymore. Okay? So the problem is, and this is really boneheaded on behalf of Capcom's part, they have it by default that any invite you get pops up on your screen. And there is absolutely no system whatsoever to stop the pop-ups in the game. I'm going to repeat that. There's no system in the game to stop pop-ups in the game. Right? Like, what? That's like saying you're in your car driving, and on the dashboard there's an alert. But the only way to disable the alert signal is to go in your house, go online on your computer, log into your car's company's website and say, disable alerts. Then you get back in your car and the alert stops popping up. It's exactly the same premise. Why would you have the ability to disable this issue not in what you're doing that the issue is in? It doesn't make any sense at all. Why make you go somewhere else, right? So, here I am, trying to play Street Fighter 6 yesterday, and every single moment that I'm not in an online match, because thankfully when you're playing an online match, the pop-ups stop. But every moment I'm not in an online match, invite, 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 invite. Like, what the hell is your problem? How stupid can you be? Why would I want this? Even if this were intentional and I wanted pop-ups, why would I want pop-ups every second? Why would I want pop-ups on my screen when I'm in training mode with a character and there's commands on the screen I need to read and the pop-ups are blocking the command inputs? Like, this is stupidity. And this just proves Capcom didn't test it. They didn't. They just assumed it works and they didn't have anyone actually test it to see how intrusive it could be. So anyway, as I'm playing, people are telling me, well, we think what it has to be is you have to go to the Capcom ID website outside of the game on a PC, log in with your account, okay, and then there's options. So, first of all, I haven't logged into the Capcom ID website since the first beta last, what was it, October? So I gotta log in, I gotta find out my password, I'm trying to do all this shit. I finally get in it, and then there is an option. It says, turn off friend requests, turn off guild requests or clan requests, just turn it all off. So there's all these different options, you have to turn them all to off. So then I do that, okay? We go back into the game, the pop-ups continue. And I'm like, what the hell? So at that point, I was like, you know what? I don't really care about this at this point. This is so stupid and annoying. I'm just going to ignore it, which I did. So I went about my merry way. I still played with Blanca offline. I just unplugged the Ethernet, which I guess you don't need to do. Someone explained to me, if you go into your network settings on your Xbox, you can tell it to just go offline without having to unplug your cable. So if I need to do that ever again, now I know how to do it, which is cool because I didn't know that you could do that, but that's convenient. I don't have to get up and pull my cable out and plug it back in. So I played with Blanca offline, then I went online for 2 hours. When I was online, anytime I wasn't playing a match, invite, 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 invite. Now, luckily, they were pretty smart in this regard. They put it in a system that you can block your name and everyone else's name. So basically, your name doesn't show up, nor anyone else's. So there very well could have been people who were doing really disgusting names and insulting things. I never saw a single bit of it at all. All I saw was a bunch of asterisks, which is good. That means these people can't get control of the stream. All they're doing, all you're seeing is these pop-ups. It was hilarious because people on my stream were like, what a bunch of losers. Like, what are they literally sat here for your whole stream just sending invites? Yeah, they're losers. That's how these people are. You have to understand, this is the tip of the iceberg of the things that these people do to harass me and my family. It's ridiculous, to think that they would do that. This is like nothing compared to the things that have already been done, okay? So, basically, it was very annoying. And what are you going to do? I put up with it. So at the very end of my first stream with Blanca, right, I'm sitting here and I'm chilling with you guys for like an extra few minutes. And I said, well, now that we're done with the gameplay, can we maybe try to figure this out again? So I leave the game again. This is the second or third time I left the game. I go back in. Now all of a sudden the pop-ups stop. And all the options, like the options for friends and list and everything, all grayed out. So I'm like, so it worked. But the problem was, when you went on the Capcom ID website, it doesn't work right away. Because I'd done this hours before. And it didn't take effect in the game. It just kept spamming me with these messages. So, here's the deal. If you're going to play Street Fighter 6, alright, and you're going to stream it, I strongly recommend you you go into the Capcom ID website and you set it up to make it only friends on your friends list can send you invites to stuff, or you just disable it entirely. Because this is a method by which people control you. You'd be trying to play the game, and maybe someone's salty because they lost a match to you online. Now they can just sit there fucking sending you requests for 2 hours. And every time you try to do anything in the game, you got fucking pop-ups in your face. I mean, it's stupidity. This is not just a streamer issue. This is for everyone who plays the game. I can't believe they put no option in the game to disable it. That's just ridiculously stupid. If anything, just say, I don't want pop-up messages on my screen. Okay, good. Done. So now people can endlessly send me friend requests. I'll never see them unless I check the menu. How did they not know that was something that people would want in 2023? Like, that's complete lack of any kind of big picture thinking, right? So anyway, I strongly recommend that. Go into the Capcom ID site, log in with your credentials you already have, all right, and block those abilities or limit them, because you can limit them to only have people who you want being able to send you those messages. So, good news is, after that first stream with Blanca, when I came back at night for JP, my second character that I used, 0 messages, because they were disabled. So, it worked absolutely perfectly. And I had no issue moving forward after that, which I was obviously happy for. I'm like, good. Now I don't have any issues. And now we're in a good position where I can play and enjoy and not have intrusive bullshit. So, and then here's the other thing. This is something that we discovered yesterday. You remember the Battle Hub that was present in the beta? Now, Battle Hub, what it is a virtual lobby where your avatar that you've created for the game runs around and can interact with all the other people's virtual avatars. There's game cabinets you can sit down at and play games on, including, I think, Final Fight and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo were supposed to be in there. And then also you can sit down at cabinets and have matches against people in Street Fighter 6. Essentially, it's kind of a social network, kind of a mode. Kind of think of like, you remember PlayStation Home and stuff like that? Kind of feels like that only in Street Fighter 6, right? So it's kind of a neat aspect. I think this is going to be something that'll come into play as more people play World Tour Mode. Because when you play World Tour Mode, you're going to level up your avatar. And one of the main features of Battle Hub is your avatars can challenge each other to matches. So imagine my ridiculous-looking avatar fighting with E-Honda headbutts and throwing fireballs and doing shoryukens, right? It's going to be pretty funny. So I think that eventually I am going to check out that Battle Hub mode, but there was a problem in the beta. In the beta, anyone could join the lobby you were in and then basically spam the chat with disgusting stuff. And they were doing it constantly. When I was playing the betas, they were basically going in there and saying really disgusting things, and everyone was like, what the fuck? You know, people just in the server are like, what are you saying? Like, why are you saying this disgusting stuff? Because they're trying to get attention on my stream. There was no way at that point to disable the chat. At all. There's no way to disable the chat in Battle Hub. So here I am trying to play the beta, and you got idiots getting attention on my stream saying gross shit. I compared this to back in the day when I used to have comments open on my YouTube videos, and there was no moderation or anything back then, so it was the Wild West, and people would come by and say racist stuff, sexist stuff, disgusting sexual things, insults to myself and my family members, basically things that would get people's attention. They even doxed me, put my fucking street address in the comments of my videos, right? They're doing it on purpose to get attention, you know? And that's dumb. How did Capcom not know that's not wanted if I want to turn up? What if you have a kid, a small kid, and they want to play Street Fighter, which they should have the right to do? It's a you know, teen-rated game. Kids should be able to play it. But what if you don't want them seeing bad stuff in the chat? You can't disable the chat? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stupidity. That's absolute stupidity. Look at this. Some moron in the chat, who I'm now banning, is actually passing around a detractor meme saying, didn't you hand out business cards with your street address on it? No, I never did. I never had business cards with my street address on it. That was an idiotic troll who photoshopped it on the internet, you fucking moron. And you're so dumb you believed it. What an idiot. Enjoy your band, stupid. Anyway, so, yeah, Battle Hub right now is probably fun to hang out in, and probably has to, like, eventually I want to go in Battle Hub and I want to see how is it to play Final Fight, how is it to play Super Turbo, can you play against another person? I don't think you can, but I want to test it out. But for now, I'm avoiding that. Why? Because you can go right into the fighter, what do they call it? It wasn't Fighters Hub. There's three things. There's Battle Hub, there's World Tour, and then there's the other thing. Fighters, I can't even remember what it's called. It's the third section. That's other content. You can do ranked matches right from there, and you can do casual matches right from there. So there's literally no reason to use the Battle Hub unless you want the social network aspect of it, which is great, because I think it was one of the things that actually was it was bloated. If you don't care about that, why do you want to have to deal with it, right? I don't care about the social network aspect of the game. I want to play the game online. So you're going to do that from the fighting grounds. Thank you, Iron Man to Power. You're going to do that from the fighting ground section. It's just like any other old fighting game where you have your menu and you just search for a match and you're done. You don't have to deal with that, right? So that's great. I learned that yesterday. I was like, oh, this is excellent. Battle Hub not being necessary is actually a big positive for me because I don't want to deal with trolling. I don't want to deal with idiots in the fucking chat. So basically, a little bit of day one growing pains, you know what I'm saying? But once I figured those things out, this game is great so far. I'm really having a good time. I am. And it is slower moving than I thought because, you know, I thought, oh, for day one, maybe I'll play 3 characters. Nah, I didn't have a chance. I only got to play with 2. And I think it's going to be the same today. I'm probably going to pick 1 character on my first stream, 1 character on my late stream. So we'll have 4 characters I'll have tried by the end of today. That's why today I am not doing World Tour mode. I'm going to hold off till maybe like Monday and maybe do a stream of World Tour mode on Monday just for variety purposes, okay, to give it a shot. That's what I'm thinking. Or Tuesday, but probably Monday I'm thinking. I definitely want to try World Tour by the end of this week, okay? Yeah, so far, so good. Had a great time day one. Now, the one thing that actually I am annoyed at, all right, is I bought the ultimate version of the game. The ultimate version came with the whole Season 1 DLC pack, meaning you get all 4 characters, all right? Which is good, and all their outfits and all their colors. So that's good when they come out. I have them all. But I didn't get any of the alternate outfits for the base cast of 18 characters, and the colors are ridiculously expensive for them, okay? So I bought the Ultimate Edition of the game. It came with 7,700 tickets. Well, each color for each character, okay, costs, what was it, like 100 to 200 tickets, something like that? But there's a multi-pack for each character. If you want to unlock all 10 colors, it's like 6,000 tickets. So wait a minute. If I want to get all the colors for a character, let's say I have a character I really like, that's all the tickets I have? Seriously, that's all I have. I'm going to immediately just run out of all my tickets that I spent extra money on to get the Ultimate Edition of the game. What? And in addition to this, listen to this. And this really threw me for a loop. You can't get the new outfits, the alternate outfits, with the credits that came with the Ultimate Edition. There's 2 currencies in the game, tickets and coins. The tickets you earn by playing, the coins you have to buy. So the only way to get the outfits is to buy them, and the pack that you'd be able to afford all the alternate outfits is $25 additional. $25 additional for the skins, right? That annoys me. Because I'll be honest with you guys, if I had known that the tickets couldn't be used for that, I probably wouldn't have even gotten the Ultimate Edition. I would have just got the Standard Edition, and I would have taken the $20 and bought the skins, right? Instead, I invested like $40 extra in this game that I don't feel like I really got much out of, at least now. I mean, down the road when the DLC characters come out, sure. But right now, I feel kind of cheated, all right? That was kind of messed up. Why are there 2 currencies? And by the way, Capcom never explained that. They purposefully didn't explain that. So there would be confusion on launch day, and people would be like, oh, I can't or can't use this. They did it on purpose, okay? And that's messed up. And it's annoying. It's very annoying in that regard, okay? And I guess we'll see what happens. But now I know for a fact some people are like, you can unlock those outfits for free by playing World Tour mode. No, that's true. That's true. However, World Tour mode, you have to master training with a fighter to unlock their alternate outfit. From the people who reviewed World Tour mode, they're essentially saying that could take upwards of 10 to 15 hours per character. Because when let's say you meet Ryu, he's going to give you a bunch of tasks to do. Get this many hits during a fight. Use this many special moves. Get certain perfects. Do this, do that. Then you have to build up the affinity with the character. So you have to earn the in-game currency and go buy items and gift the items to the character to get their affinity up. Once you max the character out, which takes a ridiculously long time, then you unlock their outfit. Now you're going to do that for 18 characters? Do you have 100 extra hours to not be playing the game competitively online to be doing this? I'm not aware of anyone who wants to do that, right? That's what I mean. What's going to ultimately happen here is people are going to be like, screw that, I'm just going to drop the money, right? Here you go. Amnesiac Aaron says, I saw on Reddit, someone got Chun-Li's alternate outfit. It took them exactly 7 hours just to get the outfit. 7 hours per outfit, 18 characters. You do the math. That's over 100 hours of gameplay, right? Now, from what I've seen is it's faster later on. Like once you get later into the World Tour mode and your character's all leveled up, it'll be easier, but it's still a grind. It's still time investment to get free outfits, right? So for me, I mean, I'm strongly considering spending the money to get the outfits. I am, because I want the alternate outfits. I think it would be really cool to have the classic outfits for the characters that are the older school Street Fighter characters. And I've seen some of the alternate outfits that I think are actually better than the originals, right? So I'm definitely considering it. I'm not going to do it yet, but I'm thinking about it, okay? Since I like the game, and since I think it would give some variety, be able to pick different outfits and stuff, I think I might do it, but I'm not sold on it yet. I'll think about it, okay? I certainly don't want to spend another $100 on the game, but at the same time, if I'm going to get a lot of content out of it, and you're enjoying it, and I'm enjoying it, and the alternate outfit would add something, which I think it would, then I'm thinking about doing it. I'm strongly thinking about doing it, all right? So, let's talk about that. Is it worth it? It's really not anything to talk about. I got to decide if I'm going to do it for myself, all right? Anyway, so, yeah, that actually pissed me off. That's definitely 100% a bait and switch by Capcom. They purposefully said they were going to include the in-game currency with the Ultimate Edition, and then the currency can't be used for the things that you want. That's stupid. Why are there two currencies? There should not be two currencies. That's the point. There should be one fucking currency in the game for everything, not two to fool you. I just hate it because you can tell that the dev team of the game put insane amounts of effort into it to make it a great quality product for anyone, whether you're a casual gamer, whether you're a hardcore gamer. They wanted to have a little bit of something for everyone. And then the idiotic people in charge said, how do we nickel and dime everyone? Let's throw in these deceptive practices. You know, that's not the line level game devs that put that in the game. Do you think they give two shits about what currency buys what? They just want you to enjoy their game. It's the assholes in charge who do shit like that. So, yeah, they should be called out for that. That's my one major criticism of the game so far, is they basically screwed everyone over with two currencies. I bet a bunch of people bought the Ultimate Edition like me, thinking, oh, I'll just buy whatever I want, and now you can't buy the stuff you want. What can you do with the tickets so far as opposed to coins, says Niku? Colors, individual colors for each character, like avatar pieces, like for example your profile. You can have a profile background and stickers for your profile. You could buy those. And there was a third thing. I can't remember what the third thing was. There were 3 things you can buy with them, but none of them are the outfits. So you can get colors, but not outfits, which is really stupid. And by the way, like I said, it's extremely expensive as well. You know, I got 7,700 tickets when I bought the game, the Ultimate Edition, and it's 6,000 tickets to buy all the colors for outfit 1 for a single character. It's like, what? Really? I do agree. PV Sweetie Pie says, I'm just surprised the game runs well on day one. Sadly, that's a major accomplishment these days in AAA gaming. Right. Take a look at how many games, online games, at launch date are just atrociously bad. Atrociously bad. Right? If they're even, you're lucky if they even work. And that was par for the course for Street Fighter V. That game didn't work for days after it released. So it's great that this game is so good at launch. I'm very excited for more today. So, 2 new characters today. 1 new character on my daytime stream, 1 new character on my late stream, which is 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Who will they be? I already know. I've already decided. So people are like, are you going to do a poll? No, I've actually decided. I know who I want to use today. I was thinking about it, all right? And I'm going to try to go with variety. And I'm trying to basically kind of alternate a little bit. You'll see what I mean. when we jump in here. So, exciting. I'm excited. Hope you guys are excited. 2 new characters. More fun in Street Fighter today, all day long. I'm going to do just like I did yesterday. Take a new character, go into their offline mode, which is their, the guides. The guide teaches you all the basics for a character, and it takes about 10 minutes to get through. So you learn all the basics of how to play the character. Then you go into their combo trials, and you can learn some basic moves and combos with them that are very useful in online play, and then you jump online. So I'm going to do the same thing with the 2 characters today, and we'll see how I do. I don't know how I'm going to do, but we'll find out, okay? Cool. So now let's talk schedule. Now's a good time to do that. So today, again, all day Street Fighter 6. Oh, by the way, I should say this. Thanks to those who are watching the videos so far on DSPGaming. They're doing okay. You know, the videos aren't even 24 hours old yet. The first batch, you know, with Blanca has over 1,000 views each video. Definitely the videos with JP also are getting some views from last night. I expect it's going to be more over the weekend. You know, it's not even 24 hours yet. But so far, I'm glad that you guys are enjoying. Oh, by the way, there was a weird thing that I noticed. And you know what it is when you're playing non-competitive games, you don't really notice. But I noticed something interesting. There was a slight audio desync in my videos. Basically, what would happen is the audio was coming out slightly late. All right? And this happened when I started using this new capture device back in December/January. If you remember, I was in the middle of my God of War Ragnarok playthrough, and my capture device died. So I got this replacement one, and this one has a little bit of different, like, desync. So I needed to delay my audio to try to sync it properly. Well, I noticed watching back the Blanca matches, the audio was ever so slightly off. It wasn't by a lot, but it was by a tiny bit that it was noticeable. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to tweak it. So I tweaked it by 25 milliseconds. And then the late stream that I did with JP, I think it synced better. All right? So what I'd like you guys to do today when you're watching me play, let me know if the audio seems synced to you. No one mentioned it, but I noticed it watching the videos back, and I tweaked it, and I think it's better now. Okay? So it's funny, when you're playing offline games, you usually would never notice it. It's only in competitive games. You know, someone punching you, the moment the fist hits the hand, you hear the clapping sound, right? But you wouldn't notice that mostly in other games. So, let me know, and, you know, and we'll go from there. But hopefully the adjustments have made the video quality a little better for everyone watching on stream and on YouTube, and the sync's a little better for you today. Okay, but let me tell you guys something. Oh my God. My visual quality of my Street Fighter videos is so good now. I mean, when I used to play Street Fighter, it used to be constant dropping of frames, choppiness. These videos are quite smooth. Like, really smooth. I was impressed with how good these videos are looking. And by the way, oh my God, Resident Evil Engine, or RE Engine, is gorgeous, man. I can't believe Capcom pumped out this graphical engine. This has been in Resident Evil 7 and 8, and now, you know, Street Fighter 6. The game is so good looking. I'm blown away by the visuals. It is leaps and bounds so much better than Street Fighter 5 was. Even the graphical style is just so much better style than Street Fighter 5 was. The stages, the backgrounds are really cool. Now that I'm actually seeing them for the first time. I was playing in London, and Big Ben was ringing when I was fighting. You know, you get the background where you're in Russia, and you see all the workers in the background. It's kind of cool. The only criticism that I really have there is the background characters aren't the best rendered. Like, they're kind of doughy and not super detailed, I would say. I think they did that on purpose. They figured if they made everyone a super rendered character in the background, the game would probably run like molasses. But outside of that, like, I'm actually liking the stages. I'm enjoying them. And it's funny because it's the first time I'm seeing them. It's hard to concentrate, though. Like yesterday, I'm you know, on a break with Kat, and she says, so are there any cats in the background of the game? Because usually in Street Fighter games, there's various pets sometimes in the background. She was curious because Jasper, we were playing with Jasper. She's like, are there any cats in the game? I was like, maybe? I know there's a lion. In the Coliseum stage, I saw a lion, like, patrolling back and forth. That looked really cool. But I don't know. Is there an actual cat in the game? Does anyone know if there's a kitty or dog maybe in the background? I don't know. Maybe there is. There's always been stuff like that in Street Fighter, though. Cammy has a pet cat. She does? I didn't know that. Cammy has a pet cat? Does she pet it between rounds or something? Jade says, try arcade mode, and Cammy has a cat. I will be doing arcade modes eventually. I promise you that. Since this is launch weekend, my focus is trying new characters and going online and trying to learn the basics. But I will probably do a stream where I do various arcade modes with different characters to try to see their stories. So that will be coming. Again, I keep telling you guys, you don't understand the daunting task of covering a new fighting game because there's so much content. You've got each character learning the basics offline, going online. Now you get the World Tour single player, mode. Now you get the arcade modes to do. There's so much to do in this game, and it could take me weeks to get through it. And that's why people are like, well, the only game you're going to play is Street Fighter. How's that going to work? How's that going to work? Again, do you not understand how much content is in this game? Tons of content, right? So that's the deal. So hope you guys understand. I'm going to do my best to cover as much as I can, as quickly as I can. But right now, I think the focus is trying characters, going online, learning stuff. That's got to be the focus at this point. Okay. So there you go. Cool. All right. Now let us go through the schedule for the week. Today, Street Fighter 6 all day long. A new character on the first stream, a second character on the late stream, much like yesterday. Okay. Tomorrow, we are not doing Street Fighter on the first stream. It's going to be the Level 1 podcast here on DSP Gaming, and then it's going to be my weekly react show, DSP versus the Internet, over on DSP Reacts. This will be a great way to break up the content for the weekend. And I'm going to make a big announcement about how that show works on the show tomorrow, starting next week, not this weekend, but next weekend. The show is now going to be a randomized playlist, meaning everyone will have equal opportunity to get their videos watched. There's no first come, first serve anymore. Now it's just shuffle, luck of the draw, okay? So I won't even have control over it. No one can blame me. It's going to be a shuffle on YouTube, shuffling the playlist, okay? So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. But we'll talk about that on tomorrow's show. So tomorrow's mainstream, a react show, but then tomorrow night, back to Street Fighter 6 on the late stream here on DSP Gaming. On Monday, more Street Fighter 6 on the early stream. I don't know if that'll be my World Tour stream or if we'll try another character. And then Monday night, the late stream Monday night is the premiere of Diablo 4 here on DSP Gaming. Yes, I'm starting up my playthrough. I have no idea about the game. I don't know what class I'll do. I have no idea, all right? But that's coming Monday night. Tuesday, more Street Fighter 6 on the first stream and Diablo 4 on the late stream. And that's my streaming week. Later this week, after my break on Wednesday, we're going to get into the mix where there's going to be Street Fighter as well as Diablo as well as the return of Zelda. So there will be variety on the stream. This is not just going to be Street Fighter every day. We're going to kind of alternate and mix up and have those 3 games rotated around for the foreseeable future, all the way until the release of Final Fantasy 16 later this month. But also keeping something in mind. There are 2 big digital events coming up. On June 8th, it is Summer Game Fest. That's actually Thursday. That's my return from my break. So by the end of this week, we got to get the time for that. And I'm going to be live broadcasting that on DSP Reacts, live reacting to it and everything. So that's going to happen. And then on the 11th is the big Xbox event plus the Starfield event. And yes, I'll be live reacting to both, rebroadcasting and doing my reactions to them and putting that content up on DSP Reacts for you guys. Okay? So, good variety of content coming up in the next couple of weeks. 3 games will be juggled plus these react events. Now, in addition, I've begun releasing new reviews. Excuse me, I had marble in my mouth. New reviews over on DSP Reacts. As of last night, I released a review of the Street Fighter 2 animated movie from 1994. Yes, almost 30 years old this movie is. It is a really good movie. It's actually one of my favorite animated movies of all time. I forgot about it for a while, and I rewatched it on Prime Video the other night, and I was like, dude, this movie is still really good. Almost 30 years later, this movie is superbly good. So I reviewed it, and I'm going to basically be doing reviews like that once a week, retro reviews of old movies that I really like. So coming up, movies such as Predator, Gremlins 1 and 2, hell, maybe even Pee-wee's Big Adventure, or the movie Clue, or other stuff that's throwback stuff, Rocky, those kind of movies. I'll probably be watching older movies and putting out a review once a week for variety purposes over on that channel. That way, there's a little bit of variety over there. It's not just me doing the react show once a week. You'll see other stuff in the mix. Okay? Cool. Good? I hope that sounds good to everyone. Good variety coming out over there. All right? Okay. I am going to review Predator, Mr. Whiskers. He says, do a review of Predator. I'm actually going to review Predator, the original Predator movie. It's a great movie. Okay, so, oh yeah, I should look for that. Tub says, what about Short Circuit? I should look for Short Circuit. I don't know if it's on anything I have. It might be on HBO Max. It might be on Amazon Video. You would think that Short Circuit would be on HBO Max. It sounds like it would be. Nope. No, but Mannequin is. I saw that movie back in the day. Mannequin, you ever saw that one? Let's see. What about Prime Video? Batteries not included. I remember that movie. That was another one that was on HBO a million times back in the day. No. They're not available. Let's see who has the rights to it. No one has the rights to it? It's not available on Amazon Prime Video, but you can buy it for $5. Short Circuit. It's weird. Usually it would say like who has the rights to it on a streaming service, but it doesn't say that anyone has the rights to it on a streaming service. That's really odd. Huh. Whatever. Anyway, but that's what I mean. That's the kind of stuff that I would like to like maybe watch and review for you guys. Movies from my past that I really enjoy and tell you what I like and don't like about them. So the review of the Street Fighter 2 animated movie is out right now on DSP Reacts. Give it a watch if you're interested. It's a really great movie. Obviously, it's pertinent to what we're doing right now. That's why I reviewed it this week. And more on the way. Okay? Good. Okay. So, great stuff. That's the schedule for the week. I hope that sounds good. I'm excited. Let's do one news story today to talk about. Okay? What's the news story for today? Well, it's kind of a funny one. You ready for this? Square Enix's management is slightly panicking because pre-orders for Final Fantasy 16 have not hit the number yet that they had for Final Fantasy 15 many years ago. Oops. And a lot of people are talking about this and saying, well, why would this be? And the answer is probably quite simple. Final Fantasy 16 is PlayStation 5 exclusive. Why? What's the point? Why is it exclusive? Right? Today, if you want a game to have great sales, you really can't have it be console exclusive. Honestly. You need to have it be PC, console, and both consoles. You do. Now, I'm not saying put it on the Switch. That's kind of a stretch for a game like Final Fantasy. But the point I'm making here is, when you're making these decisions, right, you have to think outside the box of, oh, we're going to make some extra money because we have an exclusivity agreement. And now, you know what I mean? It's stupidity. They should not have done that. They should have had it be across the board. Everyone can play it. What did you think would happen? Like, literally, what did you think would happen when you made it only for one of the major consoles? You literally lost out on an entire audience. Not everyone who owns an Xbox owns a PlayStation 5 or vice versa. So you're isolating yourself. That's stupid. In the modern climate of gaming, there's absolutely no reason to do that unless you are a studio exclusive. Like if Sony owned Square Enix, then I could say, okay, I understand. I get why God of War is a console exclusive. I don't understand why they think that doing this, the way that they've done it, would make any sense. You know, what's the advantage to being PlayStation exclusive exactly? What, you know? Not to say that a lot of people don't have PS5s, they do, but you have to take a look at everything going on. For example, understand that you just had a game with, what was it, Forspoken? And everyone thought it sucked. Now, I didn't play it, but everything I saw didn't look too good, so I skipped it, and they got panned, right? See what I'm saying? Like, so now you have bad karma going on in the gaming community. People aren't trusting you as much. I get the feeling what's going to happen is that week of Final Fantasy 16, when the reviews start hitting, then you might see a huge surge in sales. I think a lot of people have this wait-and-see attitude at this point, okay? Plus, a few other factors. A lot of people are playing Zelda right now. A lot of people are going to be playing Diablo. There's other RPGs out there. It's not like, oh, Final Fantasy 16 is the only RPG during this gaming season. It's not the case at all. People have their RPG fixes being satiated with other games. So a lot of people may be like, nah, I'm interested, but again, let's wait and see, right? People aren't freaking out to rush and buy or pre-order Final Fantasy 16 because they're busy with other stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is not shocking at all. But apparently it's shocking to Square Enix. I really would like to know who it is that these game companies listen to when it comes to market feedback. Like, are they actually doing polling of surveys? Are they asking people in certain focus groups? Where's their feedback coming from? Because I think the common person could have explained to you that Final Fantasy 16 is not tracking, you know what I'm saying, to be like, oh my god, the must-play game of the year. For some people it is, but not for everyone. There's a lot of other stuff going on in gaming right now. So what made them think that making it an exclusive, having a bad game earlier this year, Forspoken, like in what way did you justify that you thought you were going to have this insane seller? I'm at a loss, right? Now, if the game does review well and people start playing it and showing it on the internet and it looks good, then maybe it'll start selling like hotcakes. It'll be the game that everyone needs on PlayStation 5. Right now, I don't think that's the case. I think that Final Fantasy actually is starting to lose name recognition. I really feel that. At one point, Final Fantasy was like the premier RPG, right? Everyone talked about Final Fantasy. When the new one came out, everyone was so hyped for it. You want to know what killed that? The Final Fantasy 13 trilogy. Yeah. When they milked that trilogy for all it was worth, and they put out a good game, a decent game, and a shit game, well, by the time you made the shit game, people didn't care about Final Fantasy anymore, right? That's a problem. Then you release Final Fantasy 15, and the game's blatantly unfinished. Like, you have kind of run your franchise into the ground with what you've done with Final Fantasy the last 2 iterations. I say 2 because Final Fantasy 14 was an MMO. That's a completely different story, okay? But that's the point I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why they're surprised that the pre-orders are not tracking to beat Final Fantasy 15. It's your own fault. Don't make it exclusive. Don't release shitty games. And don't run your franchise into the ground. And by the way, don't bitch about it either. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't bitch about it when you've set the table and now you got to eat where you set the table. If everything you put on, if you're going to eat a delicious steak dinner, but all you put on the table are spoons, don't be upset when you can't cut your steak. That was a really bad analogy. Anyway, everyone's like, oh, that was terrible. That was absolutely terrible. They're laughing at me. I know it was a bad one. Anyway, just call me the spoon man. I want to eat my meat. I can't eat the meat with spoons. Anyway, so there you go. That's the only news story I got for today. I mean, I'm going to play Final Fantasy 16 no matter what. So I'm excited for it later this month. And until then, I got 3 weeks to focus on the games I'm playing now, and we'll see how it goes this month, okay? Cool. All right, ladies and gents, it is that time of the stream where we do shout-outs. So let's take a look at all of your contributions. Let's do some shout-outs, get the leaderboards updated. We start off on the YouTube side of things today with Pausen, who re-upped their membership for 16 straight months and says, hey, Phil, would you consider a Knights of the Old Republic 2 playthrough? Yes, I would. I would like to play the game someday. I have the Xbox version on a disc in my closet over here, so I technically could play that on my Xbox Series X, I believe. But I think it's digital, too. You can get it digitally, too. Yes, I would like to play it someday. So there you go. Realms Beyond Games, Toys, and Music. Sounds like a branded YouTube channel. Did a super chat and says, hey, new viewer, I saw your recent podcast. Be safe. Thank you. I don't know what that's in, which podcast that's in regard to, but thank you. I appreciate that, and thank you for the super chat. Johan Mungo Bean, what a name, has done a $2 super chat. Thank you to Johan. And Corpin also did a $2 super chat this morning. So thank you all for these super chats this morning. I appreciate that. Now we swing over to the tip side of things. And on the tip side of things, we have a couple overnight tips to shout out today. So let's start off with our first one. It's $29.99. And what I'm going to say is, again, I'm going to count this as 30. But this person goes by the name of Game Trekker, and they want a $20 tip animation because it's Street Fighter. So I will play the $20 animation, but I'll count it as 30 bucks. There you go. Okay, so thank you to Game Trekker for our first tip of the day. $30. Oops. Okay, and let's see what Game Trekker has to say. So far, Game Trekker has actually helped me with some really interesting tips and tidbits about Street Fighter 6. He says, oh yeah, more Street Fighter. Here's some more tips with tips from yours truly. First off today, do you know how super cancels work in Street Fighter 6? Specifically, Hold on. Specifically, it's different depending on the level of super. Level 3 supers can be canceled from normals or specials, just like supers from past games. Level 2 supers can be canceled into from normals and EX specials only. Level 1 supers can be canceled. Of course, they're called overdrive in this game. I'm trying to learn the new terminology. It's not EX moves, they're OD moves or overdrive moves. Level 1 supers can be canceled just from normals. Okay, did not know that. So if you're doing a standard combo, level 1 super is only from normal. So you can't do like low kick fireball super. Won't super cancel. Right? But if you do low kick, overdrive fireball, then you can do level 2 super. Or if you want to do level 3, it comes off of anything. So you could do low kick fireball level 3 super. Okay, that's interesting. And again, something I didn't know. I'm learning every day. Game Tricker's teaching me some basics about the game. I really appreciate this, Game Tricker. Okay. So that was an overnight tip. That counts. And then another overnight tip. And this one appears to be from Game Tracker. Thank you, Game Tracker, for a second $30 tip. And we'll get another Street Fighter animation there. And with that tip, officially, it is Gunner Glass's time. Another great start to a Street Fighter stream. Thank you so much, Game Tracker. So let's get those Gunner Glasses going. Here we go. Smear on my glasses. How can I read Game Trekker's message? His tip with tips. His tips with tips. And my glasses are smeared. I can't. Okay. Get the schmear off of there. Get rid of that schmear. Alright. Hold on. I got to ask a question. Omar says, how long am I streaming? I'm a bit busy studying. I want to drop in for more later. This first stream is going to go till 4 p.m. And obviously after the podcast is when I start with a character. And then tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, I start, and probably gameplay 7:15, and that'll be a 2-hour stream. So about a 3-hour gameplay stream right now, and then a 2-hour stream later tonight. There you go. Okay, so Game Trekker's second tip of the morning. He says, well, actually it's the afternoon now. Next tip of the day, did you know any normal used out of a drive rush will gain 4 additional frames of advantage on hit or block? This can allow for combos that wouldn't be possible otherwise, most notably many overhead attacks linking into full confirms. It can also make normals safe, or plus that would otherwise be punishable, or minus. So, for those of you who don't know what that means, allow me to explain. Okay? This new meter in Street Fighter 6 is called the drive meter. It has all these different uses, alright? One of the uses is called a dash cancel. So, when you're doing an attack, okay, in the middle of the attack, if you have the meter to do it, you could double tap forward on your controller, and your character will kind of move out of that attack, and they'll glow green. Alright? That's the indication that there's a dash cancel happening. When the dash cancel happens, now whatever attacks you do are better. Their frames are faster. It's basically the faster move, safer recovery, and sometimes you can create better combos you couldn't do if you weren't dash canceling. So essentially that's what he's saying. He's saying there may be a move that's like an overhead. So for example, Ryu, if you press forward and medium punch, he has a move where he has his hand out and he goes, and he hits you overhead. If you're blocking low, it'll break through your block. So what he's saying is if you dash cancel that move, after that you'll recover enough that you can combo after. See? That's cool to know. Okay. By the way, there's another big mechanic in Street Fighter 6 that affects frame advantage. That's burnout. While burned out, fighters take 4 extra frames of block stun, but not hit stun, from all attacks. Since being burned out inherently prevents the use of effective reversals, because you don't have meter to do a reversal, there's greatly increased danger of getting locked down during that time. And, in case you're wondering, these stack. If you drive rush into a normal, and an opponent in burnout blocks it, that normal will have 8 more frames of advantage. So essentially what you're saying is get someone to be burned out, then become a massive dash-canceling, rush-down fiend, and get in their face, and they really won't have an opportunity to reverse anything and get away from it. I gotcha. So burnout is a huge thing in this game. You want to be sure that you don't put yourself in burnout by accident, and you want to try to get your opponent in burnout as much as you can. As we learned yesterday, there are certain special moves that will actually reduce your opponent's drive meter. For example, Blanca's Fierce Punch ball apparently takes a giant chunk out of their meter. So you want to keep hitting them with that Fierce Punch ball so their drive meter will go down, 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 and eventually they'll burn out. Cool. I just want to say something, Game Tracker. I know you're probably not here right now because you're only here at certain times of the day, but these tips are huge. Like this is gonna help my game for sure. No exaggeration. This is stuff I'm gonna bring into the game, and I appreciate that because I don't have time to just sit in training mode and memorize the fundamentals that it would teach me. You just simply tipping me is gonna help me. Okay. So this should be neat. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. Now, more tips coming in that aren't Game Checker. Our first tip here is a $1.19 tip from an anonymous tipper saying, "I'm enjoying your content. Thanks for thrilling us 6 days a week." There you go. Well, thank you to whoever that anonymous tipper was. That's a nice thing to say. I appreciate that. All right, the next tip, a $1 tip from Nick. "I'm loving Street Fighter 6. I just bought it this morning. I'm glad I'm watching your streams. It's a 10 out of 10. Well, that's awesome to hear. Hopefully, maybe my content has convinced you to get the game. If that's the case, I would definitely compare this to the Street Fighter 4 experience, where when Street Fighter 4 first came out, I certainly wasn't a high-level player, but just seeing me play and have fun with the game convinced a lot of people to buy it who normally wouldn't even buy fighting games, so I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying it." An anonymous tipper tipped $1, says, "Why is M. Bison missing from the roster of Street Fighter 6? From what I'm to understand, it is part of the canon story that M. Bison was destroyed at the end of Street Fighter 5. In the story, Ryu defeats him and demolishes him. I think at the end of Street Fighter 5, the plot was that Bison needed a new body because his body was decomposing and falling apart, and so he needed to jump from body to body to survive. And during that process, Ryu fought him and destroyed him, and that was it. So Bison did not get to body jump, and now Bison's dead. But what's interesting is you have this new character, JP, that also has psycho power, the same power that Bison had, but we don't know who he is. Is he part of the same Shadaloo organization? Does he have a relation to Bison? We don't know. So that's kind of the enigma that's happening in this game, you see? So there you have it. But Bison supposedly is dead. A lot of people at first guessed and said maybe JP is Bison, and Bison did body jump, but it's not the body he wanted. It's just the body he had to take because, you know, he couldn't get the body he wanted, so it was like a last-minute deal. I don't know. But we don't have an answer yet. Maybe we will have an answer eventually. Okay. Okay. Another tip is coming. We got a $1.19 tip. "Can I review a South Park episode that's called Freemium Isn't Free?" I don't know. I've never seen that episode. Is it recent? I haven't watched South Park in years. Last time I watched South Park was when I was preparing to play the Stick of Truth game. So I ended up watching a bunch of the seasons of South Park to prepare for that one, to get all the background for it. But since the Stick of Truth came out many years ago, I have not seen a single episode of South Park. So. Okay. Yusef has re-upped his membership for 2 months. Says, "Whoa, I'm a member. It wasn't available in my region." Apparently is now, right? You must have got a gifted membership. Something must have changed, right? There you go. Okay. So thank you, Yusuf. Blackman C-Type says, "If anyone is going to be Bison, it may be Ed. He was actually raised by Shadaloo as Bison's replacement body, and he's haunted by Bison's ghost." Maybe that's the case. Maybe Ed will actually be M. Bison in this one. Ed is a DLC character in the first season coming up. I guess we'll see. Good morning, Tyler. How are you? How's it going? Okay, so, guys, we are now done with shout-outs for now. Thanks for your early contributions, obviously. Let's do a little bit of Q&A before we jump back into the game. Jade says, "I think you'll like DJ and Cammy." Cool. DJ looks interesting. Here's the thing, though. They changed all his animations. Like, every attack looks different. So I was playing against DJs, and even though I know the character from Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, I couldn't tell what he was doing. I was like, is that supposed to be his Sobot kicks? Did they change the animation so it looks like a high kick now? Does it have different properties? He now has a double tossing fireball. That's actually quite interesting. And in my opinion, will actually be quite effective. But at the same time, his properties are different than his old fireballs. So it's going to be like learning a character from scratch, I feel. Like, maybe some of the strategies from Super Turbo will still work, but I feel like I'm going to be like starting over with him when I get to him. And I will get to him, by the way. I'm very interested to see how the characters who I've played in previous games are going to play in this one. So, but yeah, I will absolutely use DJ eventually. Cammy, Looks interesting, too. I played against a couple camis yesterday. Seems like she has really good normals. Like, her special moves, yeah, but her dive kick seems effective because you can, like, stagger when it's going to hit, and it could be, like, kind of a feinty move that can lead to a combo. And it seems like her normals have great range, and you could just mash her jab, and her jab stuffs a ton of shit. And if she hits you with jab, it combos in the jab 2-3 times, and you can just do a move after it. Also, I noticed that people were doing 2-in-1s into her spinning back knuckle EX version, and it seems to have frame advantage. So even if you block it, she still has advantage. She can keep going. So that's cool. She seems pretty good. I don't know if she's great, but she does seem pretty good right now to me. So I guess we'll have to see when I eventually play with her. Cool. It's going well, Giant Enemy Crab. Thank you for asking. Happy Saturday to you, Mango Ice Cream Kitty. How are you doing? We've got a little bit of time to chat. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn on my air conditioner now because now it has hit 82 degrees in here. So let's get that going to cool down the room. I'm definitely going to need it. One thing, when I play fighting games, okay? When I play fighting games, my body heats up. Why? Adrenaline. When I'm playing fighting games, you got to react to everything you're doing. My body actually gets pretty, like, heated up. So, you know, yesterday, by the end of last night's JP stream, I kid you not, I took off the vest. My whole back was soaked in sweat. It was disgusting. Like, oh, my God. It's funny because my hands don't sweat or anything. It's just like my body temperature goes up naturally when I play fighting games. So I definitely need the air conditioner. Okay. Mr. Whiskers wants to see the joystick again? You want to see the joystick again? I can show you the joystick again. By the way, Jay Kuma said, try dashing during a combo, left light punch, dash. Yeah, that's dash canceling. And you could extend the length of your combo. That, like, as Game Checker was just telling us, when you're doing that, you get better frame advantage. So you could probably do, like, jab, dash cancel, and then do a move that normally wouldn't combo, but it comes out faster. So then you could probably do an extended combo after that. That's the stuff I gotta learn. That's the stuff it's gonna take time, but I think I'll eventually adopt that stuff into my gameplay, because that's brand new. Okay. Ooh, my leg. Ah! Popped my leg. Okay, so here's my Fighting Stick Alpha, newly cleaned. I cleaned it this morning. Since I played with all day yesterday, I strongly recommend anyone who has a joystick, clean it every day, at least once a day, because if you don't, it gets pretty disgusting. So here he is, Fighting Stick Alpha for the Xbox Series consoles, and so far, so good. Although, admittedly, I am dropping moves. I don't think it's me. I don't think it's this. I think it's me. I think I'm rusty. I haven't played fighting games in a very long time, competitively or anything. So for me, I need to get the rust shaken off, and I need to get better reactions and better consistency in my moves and combos. And a lot of the times yesterday, I know for a fact with JP, I had a lot of opportunities to do moves and combos, and I was just dropping them left and right, and I'm like, stupid, right? It sucks because you want to do good on launch day. You want to try to put out entertaining stuff. When I'm dropping combos, it's not the most entertaining things, but it is what it is. The JP win streak? I don't know how long my win streak was with JP. How was I doing last night? I don't even know. Little Spider Ninja just did a super chat. Says, how's it going? Looking forward to more Street Fighter 6. Thank you, Little Spider Ninja. Me too. New character. I wonder if you guys can figure out who it will be. Because I already know who I'm going to use. I've already determined it. Oh, really? Jay Kuma says I had an 11 win streak with JP last night at one point. Interesting. You know, I wasn't counting. It's up to you. Like I said, someone was counting the rounds. Do you want me to say that again? Someone was counting the overall rounds. And here's what they came up with. So these are rounds. Blanca, I won 76 rounds and I lost 50. So it's a good win-loss ratio. JP, I won 74 rounds and I lost 41. Overall, 150 round wins and 91 round losses. So it's definitely a positive win-loss ratio right now, but at the same time, definitely huge room for improvement, right? There you go. Cool. Okay, more shout-outs. Holy crap, let's see here. From Amnesiac Aaron, I received a $5 tip. Thank you, Amnesiac Aaron. Whoops, what happened there? It's supposed to be 69. And Aaron says, JP set from yesterday was great. Cool to see you get better each and every match. Hyped for 2 new characters today. That's what it's going to be. You know, I'm going to start off a little rough, and I'm going to learn more every time I play and get a little better. That's what it's all about. I received a $1 tip from Nick. He says, any tips for Street Fighter 6? I'm getting my ass kicked online. Here's the thing. This game, I feel, is a great jumping on point for anybody, okay? And what's going to happen is over time, things are going to get more solidified for people who are playing. Right now, everyone's just going and throwing their hat into the ring. You got people who've been playing Street Fighter since the beginning. You got people who've only played Street Fighter this last console generation of, like, you know, Street Fighter 5. You got people in the middle. You got people who maybe only play Tekken or Mortal Kombat. They're trying Street Fighter. People who don't play fighting games at all, right? So it's an interesting mix. If you're someone who doesn't play Street Fighter and you're playing this, you're getting your ass handed to you, do not feel bad. Do not feel bad. What's going to happen is eventually things are going to level out. You're going to get people who are high ranked. They're going to go play the high ranked people. Everyone else is going to kind of be around middling in the middle and the bottom, and they're going to get better playing over time, gradually learning the systems and everything. Another thing to understand, people cheated. There's people who had the beta for 6 months and weren't supposed to. So they've had time to practice these systems. If you're getting your ass handed to you, you know, especially if you're the kind of person who doesn't sit online studying combos and shit like some people do, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad at all. It'll come to you in time. One thing I will tell you, this is something that's very important. I hope you all listen. If you're going to do anything in a competitive nature in life, you have to learn to be a good loser before you can be a winner. Do you understand what that means? It means that you have to take your licks in life. You have to be able to get your ass handed to you and pick your pants back up, grab your boots by your bootstraps, and say, I'm going to reapply myself, and I'm going to try to learn. Every time you lose, if you learn something from the loss, it's not technically a bad loss. The worst kind of losses in life are ones when you lose and you learn nothing. But if you're learning from your losses and every time you're getting just a little better, then it's all good. It's all gravy, baby. That's how it was back in the day in arcades. You'd play on an arcade cabinet and you'd lose 10 games in a row, then learn something, and finally squeak out a win. So don't feel bad if you're playing online and you're getting your ass beat. As long as you feel like you're learning a little bit each time about your character, it's okay to lose. And by the way, not being a sore loser is a huge way to finally get the mentality that you'll eventually be able to win. There you go. Continuing on. I received a $31 tip. Wow. From Dan the Man. He says, hey, Phil, what's going on, Dan the Man? So this is our biggest tip of the day. Let's go ahead and play you the $30 animation. Thank you so much, Dan the Man. And with that, we have hit $100 in tips, and you guys can vote on a hat for today. Now, actually, this should be 101. 101. I will say this. Yesterday, we wore both the Ryu headband and we wore the Bison hat. So those will be not in the rotation today. I don't want to wear the same hat every day. I'm going to try to think of hats that won't be intrusive today, because obviously I want to play the game and not have it bother me. So let me think about this. Which hat is SF6 best? Let's do the Los Santos cap. Let's do the beret. Let's do the cowboy hat. And the red fedora. Let's do those hats, because those would not be intrusive, I feel. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Dan the Man. Let's continue on. I received, let's see here. I got a $1 tip from someone named Mr. Fundamentals. And he says, what makes you decide to continue to use a character in Street Fighter 6? Is it their playstyle or how well you do with the character online? It's a combo. It's a combination. If I play a character and I'm just not liking them, I don't even care if I win with them. I probably won't use them that much again. That's happened in a couple different games I played. For example, now this is a throwback. Marvel vs. Capcom 1. The best overall character in the game is Strider Hiryu. He is ridiculously good. Insanely high-profile normals that lead to giant damage combos. it regenerates his super meter every time he does a combo. Then he gets a super that's called Ouroboros, where these little orbs go around him, effectively making him invincible. You can't hit him while he does the move, but he can infinitely do this over and over the entire round, becoming almost an invincible character. It's ridiculously overpowered. I was good with him, but I never used him. I probably used him in general for like 2 months when the game first came out. I realized how broken he was, and I never used him again. I just didn't find fun using a character that was that overpowered in the game, so I never went back to him. That's kind of my mentality. A lot of people are not like that. A lot of people just look for the character that's the most powerful, and they just stick with that character. That's not me. I'm about fun. I want to have fun when I'm playing a game. I want to have challenge. I want to feel hyped that I overcame something when I won a match, not domination, 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 domination. So that's why, for example, in Super Turbo, I don't just pick Old Sagat. Old Sagat is the easiest character to use, most overpowered. I don't use him. Why? It's too easy to use. It's bullshit. I don't feel like I'm being challenged when I play with him. That's how I am in fighting games. And you know what? Absolutely, positively, that has held me back in my competitive career, where there's times when I know I could have done better if I just picked an easier character, but I don't care. I'd rather have that level of challenge. So, okay. Continuing on. I got a $6.66 tip from an anonymous tipper. Let me play your animation. So far, Street Fighter 6 has been my favorite stream ever. You're kind of insanely good at the game? No. If you think I'm insanely good, you're in the wrong place. There's streamers out there who are pro Street Fighter players who are destroying everybody. You're not going to see that here. This is me slowly learning the game, and hopefully me learning at a slower pace is allowing you guys to watch and possibly learn for yourselves, I would hope. Because, again, I'm not great at this game at all. You understand? I'm not at all. I hope that you know that. It's a slow learning process for me. Okay, thank you for the tip, though. That's very nice. I accept the compliment. I just don't agree with it. Okay. Continuing on the YouTube side of things, we've got Spawn Killer did a super chat. He says you should try and find Nerd Josh in the game. Well, as you know, I'm just doing random online ranked right now. If I find anyone notable, great. If not, no big deal to me. That's not what I'm playing it for. I'm not trying to beat notable players or whatever. I'm sure every single Street Fighter player is playing this. Even people who haven't played in years are probably coming out of the woodwork, you know, out of retirement to play the game because it looks so good. So, Nerd Josh, great person, by the way. Lionel Sancha re-upped his membership for 3 months. As we be streaming Tekken at the same amount as Street Fighter. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Let's see what happens this year. Mortal Kombat comes out in September. I'm excited for that. We don't know when Tekken's coming out. The thing is, I feel like I have the most fundamentals in Street Fighter, and then I have good fundamentals in Mortal Kombat, and I have okay fundamentals in Tekken. Tekken has changed so much over the years that I kind of got left behind in the dust because I never really played it competitively outside of like Tekken 4. All right, 3 and 4 were the last two that I played competitively. So for me, I'm like so far behind on all the different things in Tekken that I like playing it, but I'm never good at it. So we'll see what happens. I'll definitely probably get it and play it, but I don't know if I'm going to be any good at it or play it a ton. American Manga Undertaker re-upped his membership for 8 months in a row, and he's singing the Hulk Hogan theme song. When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside with a guitar. I don't know if that's just meant to be silly. I don't know if you're trying to razz on me for the stupid mobile games meme. Thanks for the membership. Let's move on. Jade says he bought all the costumes for the game. Did you? That's cool. I want to get them, but again, it seems like it's a lot of extra money. $25 for just the outfit too. But I am debating it. I'm strongly debating getting the costumes because I like the game so far. Willow, I've never climbed a mountain. No, I've never done that. Okay. Okay. Last chance for a question or two before we jump into the game for today. Ionut Stansiu says, when are you going to play the single player mode? Likely Monday or Tuesday. We're definitely going to play it by the end of this week. I just don't know when yet. I'm not doing it today. I'm not doing it tomorrow. Maybe Monday's daytime stream or maybe Tuesday's daytime stream. Okay? Stealthy Kubo says you need to use parry drive rush more. It only costs 1 bar compared to dash canceling a normal attack, which costs 3. So you say parry drive rush, which you mean is it's different. So Dash canceling is you do a move, as it's connecting, you dash out of it, and then you continue moving. Parry drive rush is you do the parry, which is the two medium buttons together, but then you dash out of it. So it's kind of like doing a focus attack dash cancel for Street Fighter 4, but better. And as we saw yesterday with Blanca, it allowed me to do a full screen sweep under projectiles and stuff, which was pretty crazy, the range that Blanca could have with that. Cool. What I need to do is I need to find uses for that. What moves could become dramatically better by using it? One thing we saw yesterday, Zangief was doing it, correct? Zangief was doing it and dashing and then getting a 360 throw out of the dash, out of it. So he was doing, looks like he's going to parry, dash forward, yoink, and a giant grab, which was pretty darn cool. So I think that that could be pretty neat with certain characters. We have to figure out the uses of that. Ninja Bridges says, would you consider skipping Diablo in favor of more Street Fighter? Your audience is pretty rabid for more Street Fighter. Listen, you guys were rabid for Diablo, which is why I said I would play Diablo. Let's see what happens. I'm not against playing more Street Fighter. At the same time, I don't want to do so much of one thing that people get burnt out. All right? I guess we'll see. The Guy Show D Low did a super chat. Who's some of your dream characters for future DLC? Oh, shoot. You know, I'm glad they have all 8 original World Warriors. Those would have been my top picks. Basically, I want to see characters. First of all, I want to see new characters. I am tired of them always having return characters that don't really need to be returning. You know what I'm saying? Oh, a Street Fighter Alpha character. Like it's weird. There's some characters I just don't understand why they were ever in it. But I would say, like, you know, I want Vega back, but I want Vega to play like Vega. Vega did not play like Vega in Street Fighter V. They changed his entire moveset to be rounded motions, and he played completely differently. He wasn't like Vega at all. Have Vega come back and actually play like Super Turbo Vega. That'd be pretty cool. I don't think they're going to do that, but you know what I'm saying? Don't bring back a character, but then it's not really the character because you changed them so much they don't play anything like their old version. I want the character to be like the old character, or else why even call them that, right? So there you go. Like, for example, they did the right thing with Lily. Why? So she's the daughter of T-Hawk, right? But she doesn't play like T-Hawk. Good. Good. She's different, and she's not the same character. I like that. If they had T-Hawk in the game and he played like Lily, I'd be pissed. Why is T-Hawk so different? He should play like T-Hawk. So I'm glad that they did that and named it a different character, and you know what I'm saying? That's much better. So. Alright. The red fedora looks like it's going to win. Yes. Looks like the red fedora will win for today. Well, we're certainly going to have a hat standing out on the stream today. Okay. Niku says, I don't know about newer Mortal Kombats. I had that issue with Jackie, too similar to Jax. Did I like Vanilla Street Fighter 4 Seth? I did Stealthy Kupo. I did like Seth. It was a good trade-off because he was really powerful, but at the same time, he took so much damage that it was like, if you play a perfect game, you dominate, but the moment you make a mistake, you lose. It was kind of a neat trade-off. Abdullah says, speaking of Lily Hawk, I'd like to see you play as her. She's my main and my favorite character. Cool to hear. We'll see. I'm picking 2 new characters today. Lionel just did a super chat. He says, will you try to master almost every character aside from Ryu and Ken? Master, no. Master, no. Try each character? Yeah, I'd like to try each character at least one set, see what they play like. Because the thing is, once you've played with each character a couple times, you basically now know what they're capable of. Regardless of the fact if you're going to play with them again, right? At least now you've seen their movesets, you understand how they work. And once you know that, it'll help your overall game, you see? So, I would like to play with every character. I'm not going to necessarily master every character, though. Giant Enemy Crab says, the answer lies in the heart of battle. There you go. Abdullah says, Lily Hawk has great normals. It makes her awesome, but her weakness is slow movement speed. Really. It's funny because she's a little, like she's usually a smaller girl. You would think she's fast, but you know what it is? Those giant clubs, right? I think those clubs make her move slow. Interesting. Arkham says, I actually never watched you play Street Fighter before. This is pretty entertaining. No wonder people like you because of that. No, no exaggeration. When Street Fighter 4 came out, this is one of the reasons I got notable on YouTube. 2009 was a big year for me playing Street Fighter 4 all year because I wasn't a known top player, but I put out entertaining Street Fighter 4 content and people liked it. So, Mr. Whisker says, looks like you're sitting in a Starbucks moderating a Reddit forum. Yeah, that's what I got this hat. I earned this by moderating Reddit for about 50,000 hours. So AC472 says, I'm getting Cuban vibes from you right now. I look Cuban with this hat on? Okay, then. Jeremy says, isn't Drive Impact a better version of FADC from Street Fighter 4? No. I would say... No, FADC would be the parry cancel. Drive parry canceling. That would be FADC. No, Drive Impact would be just focus attack. It's a better version of focus attack, but not the dash cancel. You're getting focus attacks and focus attack dash cancels confused. I know it's confusing Street Fighter terminology. I know what you're saying. Yes, Drive Impact is a better version of focus attacks from Street Fighter 4. Yes, but the dash cancel is different. All right, are we good to go? I want to say thank you guys. Fun pre-stream. Now, here's one thing I do want to say. I want to apologize in advance. Here's why. Absolutely, it's hard for me to do the shout-outs and update the leaderboard when I'm playing online because the matches are coming fast and furious. What I actually have to remember to do is when I finish a set, check to see if there's contributions, shout them out, update the leaderboard, and then initiate searching for the next set. Because if I just search, sometimes I get a match within 10 seconds. I'm like, oh shit, it's like right into the next match. That's my fault. I'm not used to a fighting game having such good matchmaking. It's blowing me away how good this game is performing online. So yesterday was a little rough in between here because basically the way I see it, you know, I'm used to having that downtime in any game to shout out, to talk, and I don't really have that when I'm constantly searching for matches and getting them right away. So apologies that any of that, you know, happened yesterday. If you felt you didn't get a pertinent shout out, sorry about that. Today I'll try to do a little better. All right, I will. I'll do my best to focus and do a little better with the shout outs today. But in the meantime, any support today, greatly appreciated so far. Obviously, support's been great yesterday. Keep that momentum going would be awesome today. Already a great start. We haven't even started the game yet, and we got this amount of tips. We've almost hit our likes goal. Good amount of super chats. No memberships yet, but that's all good. You guys know the ways to support the channel. I appreciate everyone supporting the channel in any way. We'll probably have more viewers today than usual. So if anyone wanted to give some memberships today, great day to do that. Probably get some people who will be very happy to get one, okay? All right, guys. So, thank you very much for watching the Level 1 podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hopefully tomorrow we'll continue on with the epic celebration that has been Street Fighter 6. I hope to have more positive feedback and fun to talk with you tomorrow about. But thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you soon.